When someone throws a turd at you, polish it and give it back to them. Hey Chris, just to let you know that firewood you delivered this year does not burn. Last year it was fine, but not this year. Today on In the Woodyard, we're going to talk about a problem customer that's not a problem anymore. Here we go. What do you got to say about that? So today the saga of the problem customer has been solved. About a month ago, I did a video you guys saw, and it was a very popular video. It seemed like everybody wanted to weigh in on it. It got hundreds of thousands of views, and it's still getting a lot of views and still getting a lot of comments. So what it was I had a customer that said his wood wouldn't burn. And so I followed up and I took him some more wood that I knew was dry, and I took him some bundles of kindling that I knew would help him get his fire going. So I gave him advice on what to do to get the fire going and found out that it was not my problem. I knew it wasn't. I went there and tested the wood. The wood tested between 14 and 18%. It was all ash, maple, ironwood, and it was all very good wood. Nothing wrong with it at all. But he also had some wood sitting there that wasn't my wood that he got from someone else, but that was also ash. And some people thought, well, maybe he's trying to burn the other people's wood and blame it on me. Well, it wasn't the case. I assumed he had a problem that either he didn't know how to make a fire, or he was having problems with his draft, with his flue. And I thought maybe it was a plugged flue, which a lot of you commented and said, hey, that guy must have a plugged flue. It's a draft issue. He's not getting enough draft to get it going. And I thought that probably was what it was, based on what everybody said and what he told me. So I texted him and we went back and forth, and I told him, you know, are you using kindling? Or is your draft working? And he never responded back. And after I delivered the wood to find out, you know, if he got it to go. Well, then last night he texted me. So we're going to talk about what he texted me, and I'm going to go through everything that happened so you guys can see how I handled this. And I think I handled it right, because it ended up being a good thing. So here it is. This is the beginning. This was back, yeah, it was almost a month, well, not quite a month ago, like 3 weeks ago. And it said, hey Chris, this is after I delivered the wood. Hey Chris, just to let you know that firewood you delivered this year does not burn. Last year it was fine, but not this year. So I thought, well, did I take him wood that was wet, that wasn't, you know, from a pile that I had wrong or something? So, you know, I've never had that happen before. And I've been selling firewood for like 10 years now. I've never had anybody say their wood won't burn. Usually it's the opposite. They send me pictures of it burning before I even get back to my wood yard, showing how good it burns. So this is what I texted back to him after that first comment. I just did a moisture test on a bunch of wood in the pile that came from it, and it was all 14 to 17%. And anything below 20% is good to burn. I have burned some of that pile myself, which I did, and it burns fine for me. So I'd like to come over sometime tomorrow and check it with my moisture meter to be sure. Did it get rained on? Was it in direct contact with the ground? If it is too high of a moisture content, I will get you dry stuff. Let me know when it's good for you. His next text back to me was, I would appreciate that. His next text to me was, I would appreciate that. We are using it from the top of the pile, and it is on dry concrete. So then I texted him back saying that I was going to come the next day, because I couldn't come the next day. I had work. And so I finally got there 2 days later, and I let him know I was coming. I said, I'm done with work. I'm leaving now. I'm going to come over. And then he texted me saying, well, we're not there right now, but it's in back of the house. Feel free to check it out. The stuff against the house was still wood from last year. The outer row is the new wood, which I knew. I could tell. So I got over there, went around to the back of the house, and I could see all the wood that I had delivered was in a pile in a row in front of the old wood, which is, to me, doesn't make sense, because you want to rotate your stock and burn your old stuff first, which is kind of normal, but that's what they did. I texted back and I said, okay, thanks. I'm bringing some more dry wood and some kindling too. I used 2 different moisture meters. This is after I was there. I used 2 different moisture meters and tested some of the ash, maple, and ironwood in the stacks. It was all 15 to 16% moisture content, which it was. Some of it was even 14. God dang, cat's ripping my leg apart here. You want to get up here? You want to come up? Here, just come up here. If you want to be up here, just come on up. So I'm sitting on the ground, so the cats are just all around here, but this one just won't leave me alone. Okay, I got to go back here. Okay, wood burns basically almost any time, but we'll have moisture. If it's 25% or above, it will have some water coming out of it. Below 20%, it will burn fine. Anything in the teens, 14 to 19%, is like ideal. That same wood has been sold and burned by dozens of other people, and I have burned some of it myself. No one else out of a couple hundred customers have any problems with it. I also have burned some of it myself. So all I can think of is you might not be drafting enough, or you need more kindling, or your flue is plugged, or maybe lighter fluid, something to accelerate it. Maybe, I thought maybe, you know, he doesn't know how to make a fire, but apparently they make a lot of fires. So this is what I texted after I was there. I left you some kindling and some cherry that tests out at 12%. Try that out. Fire needs to breathe, so make sure you give it space when you build your fire so you're not smothering it. Then he texted me back, thanks, but we've been using the same fireplace in the house for years now, and it gets plenty of air. The old stuff burns great. Who knows what the problem is? So then I texted him back again. You might want to try to start the fire with some kindling and old wood from last year, and then continue with the new stuff after it's going. The old wood should always be burned first anyway by rotating your stock. Then he texted back, we do use fire starters and kindling. Well, if he uses fire starters, yeah, well, that's all I'm saying about that. And then last night, so the last stuff I just talked about was from 2 weeks ago. So now last night he texted me, hey Chris, do you sell any of that kindling you dropped off? We could use about 4 or 5 more bundles. So I'm thinking, well, he must have got the fire going. So I texted him back, yes I do, they're $8 a piece. Did you get the wood to burn? I suspect you had a plugged flue or possibly a strong downdraft from a bathroom fan or clothes dryer. Another possibility is low pressure system with wind blowing down the chimney. I talked to several people who are chimney cleaners, and they both said the same thing. That's very common. There are common causes. Let me know if you want me to bring you some more kindling bundles and when. Thanks, Chris. And then he texted me this right after that. Yes, it burns perfect now. I think it was the wind. Please bring me 5 bundles when you have time. No rush. So I texted him back saying, okay, I'll bring it to you tomorrow sometime. So we're going to go get some bundles, take it to him, and he's going to buy 5 bundles. So basically, by following up with your customers, making sure they got what they want, making sure that you're resolving any issues is a good thing. And sometimes it might cost you some time. Sometimes it might cost you a little dollars here or there. But generally, I have found in my years of business, because I've been in business and been self-employed now for 33, 34 years, when you get a problem, take care of it. And the people that are the problem people, most of the time, they do have an issue. And you haven't taken care of it. And if you take care of it, you'll be butters for life. And you won't be able to do anything wrong after that, because you proved to them that you were the guy or girl, that you were the one that took care of stuff. You were the one that took care of their problem. And if you explain things in a way that puts the blame on you instead of them by saying, oh, I'm sorry, you had the issue, whatever it is, let me take care of it. And then take care of it. Don't just let it go away. Most people are pretty honest. I would say, the 80-20 rule, that 20% of your people or 80% of your problems is usually true, but I don't think it's that high. The Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule, I think it's more like about 5% of the people are a problem, and then you get about 10% of people, they're not really a problem, they just don't really know what to ask or what to do, or they don't really know what they're doing, so you got to educate them. And then the rest of the people are always great. They'll do whatever you say, and they'll trust you if you build up that trust. So we're going to go load up some bundles into my truck right now, and we're going to go deliver it to this guy. So here we go. So I just backed up the truck to the barn here. This is the door coming into the barn because I'm in the barn right now. And I was going to show you the other day I didn't do this when I brought all the kindling from the old wood yard into the new wood yard. It's all right inside the door here, so I can just grab it. And it's nice because it's all out of the rain and sun and wind and all the elements that there's a lot of here. And so I got it all stacked up right here. Up against this wall, and I've been keeping all my saws in here for now until we get a spot where I can designate a spot where I can put everything. So it's all in here, so I'm going to take 5 bundles, load them up into the truck right now, and we're going to go deliver it to the happy customer. These are big, they are heavy. They're definitely oversized bundles, so like probably double what most people would have. I think I'll take a big one from up here. All right, now, some of you might ask, why am I delivering these? Well, because I want the guy to be happy, number one. And I wanted to do a video about this so you guys could see it. And the size of these bundles are big and heavy. And like I said, they're about double what most people would have. And most people sell bundles of kindling for $6, $7 is what I see. I'm charging $8. Now, if someone was to order these when I'm delivering wood, I would do 3 for $20. So they say $4. But I'm delivering these, so I'm not getting a discount. It's going to be $8. The nice thing is it's right on my way home tonight. I'm at the farm right now, and well, it's not on my way. It's got to make kind of a loop out. It's only about 4 miles from here where I have to go, so pick up $40 on the way home. So here we go. There, the bundles are in. Down the road we go. There we go. So I'm pulling out of the driveway and he was all happy, joy. He said, thanks, bud, that was just great. Great follow-up. It was obviously my problem. He said it could have been wind, it could have been high pressure, low pressure. The wood burns fantastic. He said, there's nothing wrong with it at all. Matter of fact, he said, the bundles you brought me of kindling, he says, we'll be getting more of those. The kindling was fantastic. That is the way to start a fire. I said, well, yeah, you want to start with small pieces. And I said, that stuff's all like 2 years old, so it'll burn great. He says, thanks a lot, really appreciate it. And this is kind of on my way home, so it worked out really good. So the moral of the story is, when someone throws a turd at you, polish it and give it back to them. That's the moral. Basically, if someone has a problem, take care of it. Own it. Be a business person. Don't just walk away. Ended up being a good thing. He'll continue to be a good customer. Now, do you think there's a chance that when anybody mentions Firewood to him, that they're interested, he's going to say, hey, I got a guy? That's how you really get loyal customers, going above and beyond the normal. The normal is drop it off, drive away, never talk to him again. So there's that. Anyway, he's happy, I'm happy, I got my money. Resolution, I am the champion of customer service today, I guess. That's it for today, folks. Poke the buttons. I'll be back tomorrow 5:30 a.m. with another video just for you. Between now and then, go to my channel, watch some videos. There's 900 waiting for you. Good night, Irene.